It's 4:45 everyone. Welcome back to the vlog. Yeah, it's a bit early, but we know Hannah always operates best at this time anyway.
Can Reagan operate best at this time?
You know what? You're not doing bad.
I have a mission.
We are off to Hamburg for another go at Black Sabbath to finish the season.
Rock on, my dudes.
So we were off bright and early. We actually had to walk to work first, and then they got us a taxi to the airport. But we actually arrived almost 2 hours early, even for the baggage check-in. So I guess it's better safe than sorry, but we were waiting around a long time. So we just got to Amsterdam and I got some ramen. We have a connecting flight to Hamburg now, so just going to the gate and then gonna have some of this. It looks really good. Paid an arm and a leg for it, 18 euros. But that is airport food for you. Okay, so the ramen may have been a little bit of a rip-off, but it was totally worth it. I think this day I was kind of feeling very, very tired, so I was very appreciative when we got this extra legroom in the airplane. I think it was because we were in the emergency exit part of the plane, so we actually got loads more legroom, which I was grateful for. And these views on the plane were so beautiful. It reminded me of this verse: the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands. It was such a beautiful reminder of God is always with us and his creation surrounding us as beautiful reminders of his love. I feel like we've been travelling for so long. We have arrived!
This is definitely good.
This is summer. Let's flip to my brother going to Luna auditions right now in London. I'm so sorry. Okay. Not quite the reaction I was thinking I was going to have. The beds are so small. Like, Diddy. But we do get a nice view, it looks like. So we freshened up, as you can see, and we are heading to the city centre for a show tonight, which is exciting.
Yeah.
We're pretty exhausted, so we did take a nap. I'm not gonna lie, probably could have laid there all day, but we're gonna be tourists, and I'm excited to see the show.
The views are beautiful.
I'm not sure if I like the lighting in here. This is the outfit. What does that mean? Someone who's German who watches will tell me what that means.
You're ugly.
Your gut. Gut health is important. Also, I'm peeling so bad.
Check.
Is the lighting is yellow? Oh, it doesn't look as yellow in
No,
person.
not in person.
So where we went wasn't actually the city centre, I don't think. It was more in a more sketchy area of town, not gonna lie, but it was lovely kind of getting to see something that we wouldn't have seen otherwise and really experiencing all of Hamburg. Push out of the bubble. We need to... Go on.
No, thank you.
Come on.
Let me rehearse.
Okay.
Lekkes essen.
Lekkere essen. I need to do it now under pressure when like we're eating and I've got like mouthful of food.
I know, I feel like I just like, I was gonna be really close to my face. I feel like I want to like, be respectful, but also try.
No, but it will look like we're trying. They can see. We're endearing. Lekkere essen. Wowza. Starters are looking good. I'm talking about you. So after that sorry attempt of trying to speak some German, I have to say I think that was the only time where I attempted it. And did I say it to the waiter? No, she chickened out. But it's the thought that counts, and we were trying, and hopefully they heard that we were trying. Coming from a British background, speaking English, I know I can get super lazy with not learning other languages and really engaging with other languages. So I want to try and get better at embracing other people's cultures and languages too, because I think that means a lot and says a lot about a person.
Everything's gonna get better.
That was amazing. I love watching the show. It was so good. I kind of feel like I want to get on stage like now.
If anything's gonna get better yet. If anything's gonna. If anything's gonna. 8:17.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7:30-ish. I woke up and I'm going down to breakfast because I don't want to wake Reagan up.
So the breakfast was pretty average, very nice. I always had my yogurt, or what they call quark. I don't know if that counts as yogurt. Please someone comment down below if it does. It's just like really thick and creamy and yummy, and have that with a bit of granola and some fruit. And also there was this like overnight oats thing, which obviously I loved. It had cinnamon, all the best flavors. It was super scrumptious on top of my yogurt. Then I went to this beautiful garden. I think it might be the Botanical Gardens. There was like 2 parks, and one of them said Botanical Gardens, and then it kind of fed into this one. But it was honestly one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, and it was 2-minute walk from our hotel. So on the first day, when I knew Reagan was still asleep and I had woken up early, I decided to get some shots here. And yeah, that's the reality. I'm literally setting up my camera and then walking towards it, which sometimes I feel silly, but on this particular morning I was embracing each opportunity just to enjoy and feel inspired. I was inspired by the show before, and then before I used to kind of dance wherever I go, and as I've got older I've felt a bit more self-conscious, especially when I'm on my own and my mum's not there to help me film or anything, to kind of dance out in public or in front of things that inspire me. But on this particular morning I was like, I'm not going to let anything hold me back. If this is the way I feel like I want to express myself, that's okay. And I feel like, you know, dancing brings joy to God, and that for me is what should truly matter the most. So I hope that in some way God enjoyed the dancing I did on this particular morning. I know I certainly enjoyed kind of expressing the way I was feeling that morning through movement. It was so quiet, there was hardly anyone around, which was just so peaceful. Morning everyone. So I went out for a little walk this morning, and it is absolutely beautiful out there. The weather, the parks, wow. The rose garden, there was a Japanese garden, there was everything. I loved my little morning walk. It was kind of spontaneous. Just decided I want to start dancing because I was so inspired by my surroundings. But now I am going to go in and do a bit of a stretch in a bar, because after travel I always feel a little bit like swollen and inflamed, and I just need to get things moving a little bit before opening night tomorrow. So I'm going to go in and do my stuff this morning so that I can go and enjoy the city. I want to see the church, I want to see the canals, I want to go eat some good food. Yesterday I was quite tired. Now I'm feeling much better and much more inspired and awake and excited.
I chose to take it as it.
This building is so big. I was getting so lost, and I could hear music in another studio, and I almost walked in there and I was like, no, this doesn't feel right. But then a lady brought me here. This will do very nicely. So I found the studio eventually. It was a complete maze to get there, and you'll see later on in the vlog that that doesn't really change the whole trip. Really weren't there for that long, so we didn't get much time to get used to the building. But I just did a quick bar, a little bit on point, and then I wanted to go through the opening number of Black Sabbath, because for me this opening number is definitely the trickiest part. It was firstly choreographed on flat, and then we put it onto point shoes, so some of the movements can feel quite weird on point, and so I like to always keep it in my body, well rehearsed before a show. And we hadn't run it really properly, and since we had performed it in Luxembourg, which was a couple of weeks back. So I really just wanted to make sure that everything felt good and my legs didn't feel too jellified after a long journey the day before. Sometimes I can feel a bit shaky in my legs the day after we fly. So I just really wanted to feel secure, so I was ready for opening night the next day. Reagan also came to the studio that morning to do a bar, and she filmed some of these for me, and I'd never actually properly seen myself do it. It always kind of felt a little bit tricky and difficult. I always kind of feel a bit crazy, especially in the opening number. There's so many lights that kind of throw you off your leg. But when she filmed it, I realized, oh my goodness, like, wow, I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress since last time I saw myself do this. I think as ballet dancers, we are our own harshest critics. So to actually validate the fact that I could see my own improvement was a really rewarding feeling. And it's what I work for, so that was quite exciting. And right after, I went to, surprise, surprise, another poke bowl place that was right by the theatre.
when you don't look fortune.
Welcome to Hamburg, Germany. We're currently near the Opera House. Sorry, go ahead. yeah. Which feels very central. But we bring you today
Pretzel pizza.
pretzel pizza, the Rizza, the pizza.
So it's a mix between German and American culture.
Exactly.
Italian, Italian,
German, but honestly, the gimmickiness of it feels very American.
a celebration of
you
culture.
A celebration of culture. A bit of German heritage. Actually, please don't quote me on that. Frida's gonna be like, the pizza.
What was that? Is that a train? That was a train of some sort, I think.
Trains are quite typical in European countries.
Careful.
What?
Ooh,
So are bees.
that was a wasp. But
That was a wasp. You know, wasp honey is a local delicacy.
wasps don't make honey, do they?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Not that I
Just making
know of.
sure. Just making sure.
You're just like a sweet song.
So we are in a boat.
So she's trying to get me to distract and drive, but I'm not having it.
It's great. We just need boyfriends now.
Playing out in my mind, it's overwhelming. We're just two of a kind. We can let the world spin, 'cause this life can take all the time. Sometimes we reach so high.
Thanks for steering the ship.
You're welcome.
Here up above the clouds, I hope you still believe. I know it's hard to grasp. We were lost and found. Those days are in the past. Now you're the sweetest sound. Playing out in my mind, it's overwhelming. We're just two of a kind. We can let the
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to paradise. Today we actually have to work. So we have class this morning, then a stage call, and then the show this evening. Last night I didn't vlog, but all we did was like we got back and we just like
A little representation. This is a montage.
I watched tennis. I watched tennis for most of the time in Sewed Point shoes, and we ate and all of that. This morning we had breakfast rather early, and then we had a nap after breakfast because that's what you do when you're working till 11 p.m. Now we're gonna set off to the theatre. It's like almost 10 o'clock, and I'm excited. It's a beautiful day,
It is.
and I'm ready for a holiday. But we're gonna do Black Sabbath instead. Yeah. Let's go rock. I cannot go over this view.
I thought you were filming me at first.
Sorry.
Sorry, you can't get over the view, is that what you said?
Okay, this building is so big, we cannot find our dressing room. 8 floors, and then there's 3 underground floors as well. So we had company class that morning, and I have to say, I didn't feel fantastic about it. For some reason, I felt super wobbly, and that was really annoying considering the day before I had come in to ensure that my legs felt nice and stable. Anyhow, we went out and had something to eat, which actually really helped. I think I was a tad bit hungry. Class times are a bit weird when we're abroad because of the shows and stage calls and stuff, so I went and had some lunch, and I also treated myself to a frozen yogurt, which was absolutely delicious. And then we had a stage call before opening night, and I broke in a few shoes. Why I'm wearing my dress here, I have no idea, but the shoes needed to be ready for the next day, so I was breaking them in. And then I was also pancaking. This is the process we call pancaking, which is basically making them skin color. We use foundation or face paint to color our shoes for the shows. And then it was showtime. It was our one before last show of the season, and I had told myself I just really, really wanted to enjoy this one. This is what happens when you do Act 1 in 30-degree heat, just saying. Sweaty Betty. So it went well, so that's good. Now we just got to wait through Act 2, and then it's Act 3. How do we feel, ladies? The sweat is real. The sweat is real.
So good, so fun. We were all amazing. It was so tiring.
We did the first little phrase. My legs were like, my calves were cramping, and I was like, oh.
We're in for a long one. Yeah.
I had a stitch.
Look, I have lipstick here, and I don't know how.
But kind of, it's like so different to ballet. It's like ballet is like almost rewarding, but this is just like
Honestly, I think my running has been helping. I feel like it came and I'm like, I know how this happens. The first mile is always the worst.
Sorry, this is really rogue. This time tomorrow, we will make the England game.
No way! This is filmed before they've done the match.
Coming
Come on,
home!
England!
Coming
I
home!
don't think so, because I am German. But we just played Spain. We played Spain.
I had a weird encounter with this person at a frozen yogurt place today. I was ordering my thing in English, and then she turns around to me and she's like, "Are you South African?" I'm like, "Man, I wish I was South African." She's like, "Are you American?" Because she sounded American. I felt so embarrassed. I was like, "Are you American?" She's like, "No, I live here." I'm like, "Sorry." And I was like, "I have a colleague who's German, and she sounds just like you. Like, I thought she was American." And she said to me, it was like, "Oh, it's all those movies. They're like American movies."
I think that's the same thing for me.
So opening night was complete. We had an absolute blast on stage, and then we went to the opening night reception drinks, which were amazing. There was so much food, and there was like so many pretzels. It really did feel like Germany. So we just had opening night drinks, and now we need to go and pick our bags from the theatre because they close the theatre at midnight, and we need sleep. I really need sleep right now.
Yeah. Me too.
It is midnight, and yes, we are trekking these stairs for the millionth time today. We have to go through so many stairs to get to our dressing room, which we're going to be so fit. I think I have already probably done over 10,000 steps today, and I've hardly walked anywhere really, I feel. Just enough to get some food. By the way, I don't get salads from Europa Passage because it was the most meager salad I've ever had in my life. Literally, there was like a spoonful of chicken. Oh. Looks pretty in the evening.
Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, and it is our last day of the entire season, which is crazy.
So I was actually the first one at the theatre. Because it was the last day of the season, I'm not surprised, but I wanted to do a little bit of floor bar because all we had on today was class and the show, and I just wanted to keep my body going until the very final day. You probably know at this point that I don't find taking time off super easy, but that's more vlogs to come. I'm on a holiday currently, and you will see a vlog very soon of Spain, and I'm trying my best. I'm not doing too bad so far. We're 48 hours in, and we haven't done any ballet yet, so I would say we're going pretty good. Here is me just trying to stay with it on this final class of the season. I promise you I was super invested and interested, even if that video might not show it. And then I took these videos in the beautiful theatre because it was absolutely stunning. I really liked this theatre. The stage was huge and massive and gave you so much expansiveness to fill it. We are currently on the underground, going to apparently the biggest dance store in Europe. Apparently, that's what Heidi said, so we'll find out. So this was a fair way out of town, and I was kind of concerned when we were travelling that I wasn't actually going to be able to find where we were going, or if I had been misinformed, or if we were even going in the right direction. A lovely subscriber called Heidi recommended this to me because she knew quite a lot about Hamburg, and she recommended me to go to all these different places. And when she said one of the biggest leotard shops in Europe, it didn't take much to sell it to me, and we did have this little afternoon off, so I wanted to go and experiment and probably spend a little bit more money than I should have. I love the flowers. It's a little small though. I kind of love it. I don't know what you guys think. It's a bit different. Comment down below if this is something you would get.
It's good with your necklace. Is that an Ana Luisa necklace?
It is. I wonder if there's a skirt that goes with this. So after the leotard shop, it was a quick pop to the supermarket and the salad bar for dinner before getting ready for the show. I used to find kind of going out in the afternoons quite difficult when I knew I had a show in the evening, but now I'm getting quite a lot better at switching my brain quite quickly into show mode, because the more you do it, the more confident you get about it, especially when you have done a show as many times as we've done Black Sabbath. That definitely does help. I re-warmed up with some floor bar exercises I hadn't got done that morning. I did half in the morning and half in the evening, because I thought I would probably need to warm up again. And then it was time to get on stage for our last show of the season. All these clips are actually from either spectators or the Instagram takeover I did back in, where was it? Rotterdam. So these aren't actually from the shows that we did in Germany, but I thought I'd use these clips as a bit of context for representing that we had finally done our last show of the season. Right, I've still got to finish the show, obviously, but now I've got to try and keep myself awake till Act 3. This is what happens about half an hour after Act 1. All the adrenaline leaves and then you have to pump yourself back up again. Part of the job. Usually how I get ready for Act 3, because I would have cooled down a bit, is I do my prehab exercises and releves for my perineals. So that's what I will do in about 20 minutes time to prepare to go on for the last bit of the ballet. It's been a crazy year. I'll do a full video of talking about my season, maybe in a different video, but just very grateful to be here in Hamburg right now. So this is the first time our dressing rooms have had balconies. So it's quite nice when I was in Act 2 just to kind of come out here. I FaceTimed my mum the first night, and this time I just sat out, got some fresh air before warming up. I feel like this is like literally my third warm up of the day, but that's kind of, when you're a professional dancer, a lot of the time when we're doing shows, that is the majority of what you're doing. This is the maze I've been talking about the whole time. It's crazy. So many corridors. To say it was a bit rainy is an understatement. Oh, we are soaked. If my bag's a representation. Yeah, this is the end of our season, everyone. We got through. That is actually a representation of our season. Getting through it anyway. Getting through the wind and the rain and the storms of life. Okay, we're gonna take a moment. So for our final night in Hamburg, I did go out for some drinks with some friends. Of course, I had the Fritz Cola, which was Germany's own Diet Coke, which I really enjoyed. Good morning, everyone. It is our final morning here in Hamburg before we go home. It is also the end of the season, which is mad. It doesn't really feel like it at the moment, to be honest. I think you get such in a state of like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. So I feel like I'm in a bit of denial at the moment, but kind of in the best way. Me and Reagan are gonna go out and do some touristy bits before we have to get the coach at 3. So we better get out the door because it is 9:30 now and we wanna go on the touristy bus. We've also got loads of bottles because here in Hamburg, you can donate your bottles at like the supermarket and it gives you like money back. Last time I did it, I got 25 cents for one water bottle, which is just such a cool idea. I can totally get behind it. So we've collected up all of our water bottles. I feel like we probably have around about 20. What do you reckon, Reagan? 20, 30. But before we finish, I have finally not forgotten to do my hotel room review. So let's do it. I feel like it was a very bulk standard, hello Reagan, bulk standard room here, apart from the views. Actually very, very pretty. Of like when the sun sets here, it's really gorgeous. We had a very basic TV. We did watch some Come Dine With Me German version, which was quite fun one evening. This desk area, I approve, good place to eat. We also had this mini fridge. It had a complimentary bar. Each day they would put new things in here and it was completely free because apparently we were in the business class. And then here we had a coffee machine. Not that we used it, but it was there. Did you ever use it?
No, I didn't. I just went into breakfast.
Still cool, nice little add-on. The beds were okay. Can't say the most.
Loved them.
Oh, you liked them?
Yeah. What?
I wasn't a huge fan.
Okay, mixed reviews on the bed.
Mixed reviews on the bed. Reagan loved it. I wasn't the hugest fan, but take what you will from that. Very plain decor. Can't really say much for that. I wish there was a bath. No bath, shower. It's quite nice that both of us were able to do our makeup in here. We've got a couple of mirrors going on, which is always nice for the makeup. Yeah, quite bulk standard. Like these shelves as well. Last night I put some of my clothes in it because I got back a little bit late. Reagan was long gone to sleep, so
She was moving and grooving around. She was a wild child last night.
she says this and she wasn't even there to witness it. I was just sitting on a bench outside in the rain.
When she came back, the sun was coming up. I was sitting on my bed waiting for her.
I came back by 1:15.
I was so concerned, you know, and
Yeah, you were so concerned you were fast asleep when I got back. If I had died, you wouldn't have known. And if you woke up, you still wouldn't have known because you would have thought I was at breakfast. Yes. Guys, I've invested so much in this relationship and she doesn't even care.
I really felt like I was still gonna be awake by the time he came back. And then I was like, I'll just, close my eyes. And then like 2 seconds later, I was like...
She was totally gone when I got... Anyway, I know that last time when we were in Rotterdam, she came with me just to protect me. So anyhow, so overall, I'm gonna give this. It was decent. 7 out of 10.
Quite high.
Really? You like the beds.
I did, but I feel like a 7 out of 10. I'd give it like a 6.
But like the 7 is because there's a fridge.
Yeah.
But there was no bath. No, I'm gonna give it a 7 because there was nothing particularly wrong with it. Like
Yeah.
there was no mold. There was no. Well, it's a 6 out of 10 for Reagan because she's hardcore. Yeah.
So if 10 is resort, 1 is like...
I think I do it out of 10 for like practicality.
I would give it a 7 out of 10 for tour practicality.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like a 7
That's
out of
what
10.
I mark
Yeah.
it on. I need to clarify this in my vlogs because otherwise that's going to get very confusing.
Yeah, 'cause-
Because if it was resort vibe, it would actually feel too much like holiday and then I would
Yeah.
struggle on tour. My arm's starting to hurt from holding this camera. So we are going to go. My fitness levels have dropped this summer. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
We only get 15 for this one. Was it glass? She didn't like that one? Was it the same as all the others? Get an amazing sum of €4. Fabulous. Great. Success. This is what we got with our bottles. We got more bottles. So once we have redeemed our hefty voucher of €4.08, we decided to go out and sightsee. It was really, really beautiful. I think this was a town hall. It had a beautiful fountain in the middle of it. And then we were going to try and find the tour bus. After an hour and a half, we might actually be getting on a bus. It's always more complicated than you think these things, but we're there. I think this was the perfect way to round off our trip because of course we were pretty tired after all the adventures of the days before. So being able to sit on the bus and just see everything and be able to also kind of rest at the same time was quite nice. We saw the Opera House, which apparently cost 700 million to build, which was quite a sight to see. And we also saw this big electricity tower, which apparently provides most of the electricity for the whole city. And then of course we had to go to our favourite poke place before taking a trip through the botanical gardens back to our hotel where we had left our bags for the morning because we had a bit of a later flight. We didn't have to leave the hotel till 3:30. Then it was on our way back home. We had a transfer again through Amsterdam, so it did feel like a little bit of a journey, especially when you have a transfer. It does drag on a little bit, but once we got back, we had a good night's sleep, and the next day I was in the studio with Hamish. Obviously our season has ended, but me and Hamish are learning this pas de deux to perform at the Elmhurst Summer School quite soon, and it's just a good experience. I honestly can't keep myself away from the studio, and to be fair, this season I think ending it in this way is quite a beautiful representation of how far I've come this season. Last season I was struggling so much that when it came to the end of it, the last thing I wanted to be is in the studio, whereas at the end of this season, one of the only places I wanted to be was the studio. And I think that really speaks to where I'm at and how I'm feeling about my dancing and where I'm feeling more confident and happy in myself as a human. And I just wanted to say thank you to all the people in my life and also here on social media who have been supporting me. These last few years have been a struggle, but we fought through them together, and I'm super grateful for everything I've learnt through each challenge, and I'm sure there's probably many, many more ahead. So let's stick together, let's keep dreaming big, and let's keep making it happen. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video, make sure to comment this emoji so I know who the real motivators are. Thank you guys for sticking around, and you will see some summer content coming very, very soon. Remember, keep dreaming big and making it happen.
We'll just do.
This is end of season.
We made it.
We made it to the end. Good night.
Good night, Britain. Woo!
Win England.
We're a team.